Hey, it's Anita, and this is a really self-serving offer that I'm going to be presenting to you. I'm kind of throwing this together at the last minute, rather haphazardly, I must admit, because it's something that I feel like I need to do, and I think it's something that a lot of other people would need to do too. I thought, oh well, may as well not make myself miserable, may as well bring a lot of other people to be miserable too, but in the process we'll learn a lot of stuff about ourselves. I hear from people all the time, I don't have enough time to do this, I don't have enough time to work my business, I don't have enough time to exercise, I don't have time to plan and prepare healthy meals, whatever it is, whatever it is. The reality though is that it's not time that we don't have enough of, it's focus. We have totally lost the ability to focus, to concentrate, to really engage with something to the point that we accomplish things and we do really meaningful things in our lives. We'll check items off of a to-do list, but we're not actually accomplishing, moving forward in our lives. And it's because we're not focusing on things, okay? So what's happening, I think, is that we're allowing ourselves to be consumed by technology. We are really, for the most part, walking around in this semi-hypnotic state. And I don't use that term lightly. I mean, I think technology really does put people in an almost hypnotic state. And that is a problem, because when you're in a state of something is so seductive that it's almost in a state of hypnosis with you, you're focused on that and you're losing control of time, you've lost awareness of things around you. It's a problem and people are not getting things done. And it's funny that focus is the problem that we have, because my webcam here is acting really screwy when it's focusing. I think that's telling us something, isn't it? Okay, we are being hypnotized by technology. I find myself checking Facebook a lot throughout the day, and I don't need to be. I do conduct business on Facebook, so I do need to check it a couple of times a day, probably only like 2 or 3. It doesn't need to be as much as I'm on there. And sometimes I find that I just am staring at Facebook waiting for a new status update to come, or waiting for it to load again, or just I don't know, waiting for something to happen on it. It's really weird. And I'm thinking, even when I'm staring at it, I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? Why am I just staring at this stupid screen and nothing's happening? I don't know what the heck is going on. Anyway, I check my emails a lot. Now, part of it is because I do have clients emailing me and I need to get back to them and that sort of thing. But I don't need to check it as often as I do. And I had been much better at it, and this summer things kind of unraveled for whatever reason. I started a really bad habit of checking it much more frequently than I need to, and then therefore I end up spending more time with email than I really need to do. And I'll explain, if you decide to join me with what I'm going to do, how you can fix that if you want to. But it really is, we're in a semi-hypnotic state when we are doing anything with technology. So the problem is that productive things aren't getting done. We're not doing meaningful things in our lives, or as many meaningful things, or we have things that we'd like to do, but then we tell ourselves, well, we don't have the time. You know what? Maybe you do have the time. Maybe you're playing games on your phone a lot. Maybe you do have the time. So I think it's time to put a stop to this nonsense. So what I'm going to do, and I'm inviting you to come along with me, is to do a 3-day digital detox. A 3-day digital detox. It is not a fast. Okay, it's not getting rid of technology totally for 3 days. It's just as kind of a general detox. So what that means is that, like I said, first and foremost, I'm really doing this for selfish reasons. I need to get myself kind of back on track with a few things. There's always room for improvement for everybody. I want us to all learn how to control technology so that it stops controlling us, because right now that's what's happening. The screens have control over us, and we need to get our control back. We need to learn how to use the screens so that they serve our purpose rather than the relationship that has been reversed, and they really serve their purpose, okay, which is making us watch them all the time and not do other things. So I want to really invite you to come along with me on this. Not only are we going to learn how to control it, but we're also going to learn how much time we do have and how much ability that we have to do pursue some important things in our lives. So the goals are to get a real appreciation for how much time and energy you spend on technology, and maybe you'd want to start devoting that to other things. And after this 3 days, you might be able to have some clarity on that. So I have problems with Facebook, social media. I have problems with email. Most people have problems with text messaging. And again, I understand people have businesses. You have to live your life. It's not a fast. I'm not telling you to put your phone away for 3 days, or even your computer away for 3 days. What I'm going to do though is set out parameters, okay, and teach you how to use texting or email or social media, whatever the technology is. Use it for, make sure it has a purpose and that it has a beginning and an end. And those are the parameters. And so you'll be having times when you're able to text and able to check email and respond to email, but it'll be very specific times during the day that you will get to decide what they are. I'm not going to do that for you, but it's going to have a beginning and an end each of those times. And so overall, it's going to be a lot less time spent with technology. It's going to be contained and controlled, and then you're going to have large chunks of time in between in order to get other things done, because you're not going to be distracting yourself with technology. Text messaging is a huge problem. I'll go into details. If you want to know more, I can go on a rant about text messaging, how it's terrible. It's time to put a stop to the nonsense. It's time, okay? And before September starts, before fall comes and we get really busy again, let's get this under control. Don't you think now's a great time to do it? Okay, so I'm running this as a beta test. It's going to be free. I want you all to come along. We'll see how successful it is, and I'll just kind of decide what to do at that point, depending on how successful it is. And this camera's kind of driving me crazy, so I hope it's not driving you crazy too much. Free to participate. All you need to do is put your name and your email address on this page, and that's all it takes to sign up, and you'll get some emails from me to help you prepare mentally for this process and help you understand what the goals are, what the parameters are, what the boundaries are. The dates: August 7th, 8th, and 9th. Thursday, Friday, and a Saturday. I had one weekday in there, one weekend day on purpose. I did that intentionally. So, it may be easier, maybe harder for you. I don't know. We'll see. I thought it was important to have kind of a sampling of days in this 3-day period of time. So, come along and join me. I haven't decided what I'm going to do about having a Facebook group. Usually when I have groups, when I run groups, I have a Facebook group, and that's where a lot of the support happens. That's where people can access me, ask me questions, get me, to give them feedback and that sort of thing. Since we're trying to limit Facebook, I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do about the whole idea of a Facebook page. So I'm going to have to think about that. And actually, if you have an opinion one way or another, I would love to hear it about whether you think it would be a good idea to have a Facebook page. You will be able to check Facebook during the detox, but only during prescribed periods of time and for a limited amount of time each chunk of time. So, I don't know. You can think about it, I'll think about it, and we'll come up with a solution before it starts, which would be August 7th, go through the 8th and the 9th, and then we'll all reconvene on a Facebook page where we'll all just kind of dump and talk about our experiences and what we learned and what we hope to carry with us going forward. So, I want to have as many people coming along with me as possible. All you need to do is put your name and your email address on here, and that's so I know who to email this information to. And I look forward to this process. Actually, I don't look forward to it because it's not going to be easy the first day. I mean, really, it's going to be challenging. But it'll be good for all of us. So come along. I can't wait to have you with me.